For years now, mysterious creatures have been reported from around the world. Most of these have become famous in their own right. For example, the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. They're so popular they've even spawned various books, movies and TV shows. However, it seems that after all these years we're no closer to coming to a definitive conclusion as to whether they exist. Skeptics will say they're nothing more than hoaxes or misidentified creatures, whereas those who have allegedly seen them swear they do in fact exist. It's not just in the modern day these creatures have been witnessed. In fact, the first Bigfoot sighting was reported hundreds of years ago. Native settlers will talk about giant men that they shared their land with, and although they referred to them as giants, some have put forward the theory they were talking about Bigfoot. Perhaps though one of the most common cryptids seen are alleged sea monsters. Even to this day, many creatures wash ashore that we're not able to identify. One of these creatures was discovered a while back that caused a lot of speculation was found off New Zealand. The creature was named the Zuiyo Maru after the boats that discovered it. This happened on the 25th of April in 1977. At first, when setting out their nets, they were hoping to catch small to medium-sized fish. The main fish they was after was mackerel. However, after having their nets out for a short amount of time, they could feel the boat being dragged. This indicated to them that something big was in the net. As they were bringing it in though, they slowly started to see the mysterious creature that had been tangled up in their net. When the mysterious looking creature was brought to the surface, they could immediately tell it was no longer alive, and they speculated it passed away a while ago. One of the first things the crew noticed was its long neck and what appeared to be slender flippers. They hadn't seen anything like this before, and as the news broke, many people across the scientific world were interested in what they captured. After taking measurements, the team stated the creature was over 10 meters in length. One of the first theories that was put forward was that the creature in question was that of a whale. Scientists from all over the world said that these creatures look different when they're in a decaying state, going on to say that many of the large unidentified sea monsters that wash ashore turn out to be decaying whales. When the tissues break down, they can take on an entirely different look, suggesting that going back years ago, this is why many people thought sea monsters existed, because they were misidentifying once living whales. With that being said, some did believe that what the fishermen had captured was a real life sea monster, suggesting that it could have been a plesiosaur. The plesiosaur is an extinct marine reptile that used to swim in our oceans hundreds of millions of years ago. The idea was put forward by some theorists because of the look of the creature. Paleontologists have pointed out the main features on a plesiosaur was that of its flippers, and on this creature they seem to be very much present. Those who have seen the pictures say that it has paddles and a long neck, two very distinct features that a plesiosaur had. Another thing these creatures had was small heads, and once again this creature seems to have that. Cryptozoologists have put forward the idea that a small group of these plesiosaurs were able to survive the extinction event, saying they were able to do this by diving deep and surviving on the rich sources of food the ocean has to offer. However, scientists have said this is not the case, and that no plesiosaur has ever been discovered. Every single year though, scientists have been finding the existence of long thought to be extinct species. Some of these include marine animals that were roaming in our oceans back during the time of the dinosaurs. For example, one of these is known as the coelacanth. This creature was swimming in our oceans hundreds of millions of years ago, and scientists said they became extinct around 80 million years ago. But in 1938 a living coelacanth was discovered in the Indian Ocean near the southern coast of Africa. Incredibly, these creatures have been living since the time of the dinosaurs. With this much evidence gathered by the scientific community, it's no surprise then there appears to be large tales involving the existence of real-life encounters with ancient creatures even in the modern day. When the creature was brought up, the captain didn't want to keep it on board, saying that firstly it smelled bad and that he didn't want the creature on the fresh fish. However, he was convinced by the other crewmates to keep the catch. After taking a few photographs, one of the crew members said they should take a sample. However, the creature did end up getting thrown overboard after the sample and photos were taken. Incredibly, shortly after taking these samples, an incredible discovery was made. A professor from Japan declared that the samples given to him matched that of an extinct plesiosaur. As you can imagine, the scientific community couldn't believe they had captured a real-life ancient marine reptile, and due to it only passing away not long ago, this would mean there's many more out there waiting to be discovered. After this news broke, many people headed out to the spot where it was discovered and tried to find the original creature. However, after getting there, no one could find a single thing. It seemed like the ocean had claimed the creature. However, shortly after the excitement, science stepped in and announced the creature was in fact a basking shark. As mentioned earlier, alleged sea monsters are witnessed by many people every year, and when they're initially discovered, it's hard to give an accurate idea as to what the creature is. This was the case for another sea creature that went by the name of Tronco. Back on the 24th of October in 1924, a strange and unexplainable monster washed ashore after witnesses combing the beaches claimed to have seen an even more impossible to explain scenario playing before them. Out in the waves close to the shore, there appeared to be two large killer whales working to take down an even larger creature in the ocean that not a single person standing watching could explain. The ocean monster was described as having a long and massive trunk similar to that of an elephant, a thick white fur wrapped around its entire body similar to that of a polar bear, and the bloated and massive body of a small whale. Given the massive trunk extending from the face of the white furry beast, many gave the creature the name of the Tronco, and believed it to be a strange monster unknown by researchers of the time. Despite the body rotting away in the beaches for more than 10 days with a wide variety of people visiting the site, not a single scientist or researcher went to the body, and none of it was preserved for future study. This has led many to believe that perhaps the creature was nothing more than a large whale and a case of mistaken identity. Given the fact that nothing could have been preserved of the location, it's hard to assume that the creature was a case of mistaken identity, and the witnesses that recount the tale say overwhelmingly this wasn't the case. Unfortunately, it appears we may never know what the creature really looked like, and where it came from, making it an impossible to explain ocean mystery. Today, many cryptid websites on the internet have removed the Tronco creature, and accepted the explanation of an old bloated carcass as the cause of the sighting, despite numerous witness claims more than detailing the strangeness of the creature. What's odd about this though is even to this day people have come forward and allegedly seen more of these creatures. Going back a few years ago, one managed to find its way on the beach, again covered in thick white fur. However, scientists said the same thing, that the creature in question was a whale and what people were seeing was the tissues breaking down. It seems that as of today, the world of science has done a great job at identifying the many mysterious creatures that have appeared on our beaches. With that being said, that doesn't mean there isn't mysterious creatures lurking in the depths. Around 95% of our ocean is still unexplored, and every year we are discovering hundreds of new ocean creatures. Like the coelacanth, that was thought to be long extinct, and if you told researchers they were still living, you probably would have been dismissed immediately. However, as it turns out, these ancient creatures are still roaming our oceans. Some have put forward the idea that many of the ocean creatures that lived during the same time of the dinosaurs dived to deeper depths, and have adapted to them, living off the deeper sea creatures. So perhaps in the near future an ancient relic will once again make itself known. So what do you think of these strange ocean creatures? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.